Hello, it's Leon Brenner from Unconscious Berlin, and you're listening to a short video essay on the creativity of depression. There are so many reasons to be depressed today, and few things more futile than trying to convince a person suffering from depression that things are not as bad as they seem. In terms of numbers, the picture is also bleak, as 2 out of every 10 people will suffer from depression sometimes in their lives. 80% of those who do will suffer from multiple reoccurring episodes, and among those, 10% will become suicidal if untreated. Having said that, major depression remains treatment resistant in so many cases today. While there are many approaches to the treatment of depression, in my work I rely on the psychoanalytic orientation. From this perspective, depression is not viewed solely as a mood disorder. For psychoanalysts, the picture is much more complex, for depression is viewed as a complex endeavor that materializes in an impossible creative project. This project being so ambitious, so arduous, that it brings about a great deal of suffering. While viewing depression in this way, Freud specifically described it in terms of a process of mourning. As a general rule, we mourn when we lose a close person, a role, status, or any other important object in our lives. Mourning is accompanied by grief and involves a gradual emotional detachment from the lost object that eventually allows us to continue with our lives. In simplified psychoanalytic terms, we can say that when we lose an important object, the emotional energy invested in this object is suddenly freed up, and the process of mourning allows us to slowly reallocate this energy in other objects in our lives. Depression, when viewed in these terms, is similar to a process of mourning. It is initialized by a loss of an object and also entails an attempt to reallocate the emotional energy previously invested in this object. However, unlike mourning, in depression, the lost object is a non-existent idealized object. Because this object is nowhere to be found, the attempts to find a suitable replacement for it and reallocate the emotional energy associated with it is impossible. When all attempts to do so fail, Freud said that this excess energy is directed inwardly, and thus the lack of the object is determined as a lack in ourselves. This brings us to debase and scrutinize ourselves, feeling worthless, incapable of achievement, and despicable, resulting in what is diagnosed today as depression. It is widely accepted that depression and creativity have something in common, and that depressed people are commonly very creative people. So, how exactly can we view depression as a creative project? Well, I'd like to suggest that you try imagining depression as a type of mourning that precedes and even anticipates a loss of an object. In other words, try viewing depression as a unique process that aims to transform an unobtainable, unknown object into a lost object. That is, to make something that was never there appear as though it was there and then lost. What can be more creative than to produce a mental scene where what was never lost is excessively mourned for, creating a space for the ghostly existence of the non-existent? As I hope to inform you in our future videos, I think that when working with depressed people, we have to be attentive to this unique creative propensity, to closely listen to its dynamics and aims, not fighting it, but trying to find ways to make it productive and enable this process of mourning to reach its end when something of its elusive cause can be marked out.